I die of love for him. The Abbasid Caliphate, 750 through 1258 8 AD. In context, same-sex desire in Islam. Before, 610. The Prophet Muhammad receives his first revelations from God, which are later recorded in the Quran. 632. Muhammad dies having converted most of the Arabian Peninsula to Islam. 632. The Rashidun dynasty succeeds the Prophet and expands north, west, and east. 661. The Umayyads take over the growing caliphate from their capital Damascus. They are overthrown by the Abbasids in 750. After 1258, the Mongols sacked Baghdad. The Mongols sacked Baghdad and raised the House of Wisdom. 1261. The Abbasid Caliphate is re-established in Cairo with a purely religious function by the Mamluks. From their grand Baghdad palaces, the Abbasids led an Islamic Golden Age, battling rivals such as the Byzantines and Seljuks, and promoting and learning culture. Evidence of same-sex relationships can be found in the lives of caliphs, rulers, and the writings of their scholars and poets. The fourth Abbasid Caliph, Al-Hadi, ruled from 785 to 786, whose short reign ended with his death, aged 22, was said to have suspected two of his concubines of being lovers. After confirming his suspicions by having a servant spy on them, Al-Hadi apparently beheaded the pair. Al-Hadi was succeeded by Harun al-Rashid, ruled from 786 to 809, who developed Beit al-Hikmah, House of Wisdom, an extraordinary institution of learning that brought together some of the world's greatest scholars and fostered a flourishing of the arts, sciences, and literature. Al-Rashid was more tolerant of same-sex acts, and one of the poets at his glittering court, Abu Nuwas, wrote some of the finest homoerotic poetry in all of Arabic literature. According to a tale in the story collection 1001 Nights, Al-Rashid once discovered him having sex with young men. Abu Nuwas greeted the caliph with drunken insolence and reaching him, but Al-Rashid eventually pardoned the poet and rewarded him for his wit. In the picture above, the Abbasid Caliphate, 750 to 1258, was a cosmopolitan empire that stretched from Iraq to North Africa and Central Asia. Trade reached as far as Britain and Japan, and the Abbasids had led the world in astronomy, cartography, medicine, and math. Al-Amin's favorites. Al-Rashid's son, Al-Amin, ruled 809 to 813, spent his time in the intimate company of enslaved men, neglecting his wife and concubines. He became so distracted that his mother, Zubaydah, began dressing enslaved girls in men's clothing and cutting their hair short. Her efforts paid off, and when Al-Amin began to be seen with these escorts, it triggered a fashion for women at court to wear their hair short and dress in male clothing. Al-Amin's reign was short-lived. The power struggle led to rebellions and then civil war, and he was disposed by his half-brother Al-Mamun, ruled from 813 to 833. Accounts suggest that the Caliph spent the last moments before his defeat playing chess with his eunuch and lover, Kawthar. Al-Amin was executed, but there is no evidence that his sexuality contributed to the conflict. Indeed, one of Al-Mamun's advisors, Chief Judge Yahya ibn Aktham, was said to favor men. In the above drawing, two men embrace in an illustrated manuscript of Al-Hariri of Bajr's 12th century story collection Mangamat, the Assemblies. While the pair appear to have an easy intimacy, there is no indication that their embrace was sexual. Kawthar is my religion, my cosmos, my infirmity, and my doctor. Al-Amin and his favorite eunuch, Kawthar. Al-Mamun the Rationalist. Al-Mamun followed a rationalist Islamic school of thought known as Al-Mutazila. His patronage of Beit al-Hikmah led to substantial advances in fields such as geology, philosophy, astronomy, and medicine. Al-Mamun's views set him against many traditional scholars who believed holy text should be the only source of knowledge. He set up an Abamina religious inquisition, which banned conservative ideas that suggest the Quran, the holy book of Islam, represented eternal, quote, uncreated, unquote, truth. He discouraged interpretations such as that of Ahmad ibn Hanbal, a prominent jurist and collector of hadith sayings of the Prophet, who claimed that both the doer and the done to is a sexual act between men that should be killed. Instead, under his rule, scholars such as Al-Jaheth felt free to write treatises ruling the sexual benefits of enslaved men or describing same-sex sexual behavior in the animal world. In the picture above, Al-Mamun sends an envoy to the Byzantine Emperor Theophilos. The rulers shared scholarship but also fought in Anatolia and Sicily. A legacy of openness. Al-Mamun's intellectual openness and relatively tolerant approach to sexuality informed Abbasid attitudes in the centuries that followed. Works of literature documenting the period, like the 1001 Nights, reveal non-moralistic approaches to gender and sexual variance. In Abu al-Faraj al-Isfahani's 10th century poetry collection, Kitab al-Aghani, the Book of Songs, one story tells of a renowned court singer named Bathalus saying that there was nothing more delectable than sex with another woman. The listening Al-Mamun disagreed, saying that heterosexual intercourse was better, than asked to continue with her performance.